What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Fast. Today, let's get started with Bo Nickal explains why he's grateful for his first career loss ahead of UFC 322 return. Bo Nickal is looking to get back into the win column when he takes on Rodolfo Vieira at UFC 322. Nickal is coming off his first career loss as he lost by TKO to Reinier de Ridder earlier this year. Although Nickal never wanted to lose, he admits that losing did help him. Nickal explained why he was grateful for the loss and everything that he learned from it. I think that for me, it felt like a lot of changes because I really just changed a lot of stuff mentally and had a different level of focus and intensity and motivation with my training. I think that the loss has been something that's been really good for me and something that I'm grateful for. The hard part is just now it's felt like a long time and I've been waiting, just working and grinding, excited to get back in there this weekend. Nickal enters his UFC 322 fight as a sizable favorite, but he isn't overlooking Vieira. Nickal knows that Vieira poses a lot of problems with his grappling skills, so he can't overlook him. Of course, you know Rodolfo is world-class, not only in one sport, but in two sports, which is impressive. So, it's something you gotta respect the guy going in. I think that for me, it's really a lesson that I learned from my last fight, is just to focus more on myself than my opponent. Just work on continuing to round out and perfect my skills and the fundamentals of fighting. I got respect for Rodolfo. He's been able to accomplish a lot, but this camp and all the training leading up has been focused on me. Javier Mendez is top options for Islam Makhachev's first title defense. If Islam Makhachev is victorious at UFC 322, Javier Mendez eyes two big fights for him. Mendez agrees with Makhachev on former five-time defending UFC welterweight champion Kamaru Usman being the ideal first title defense. The one guy I think probably deserves it more than everybody, based on his title run when he was the champ, is Kamaru Usman. Look what he just did with Buckley. He stopped the hype train and did it in impressive fashion. So I would think that his hat has got to be in there as a contender for that title. His title run, being the greatest welterweight of all time in my opinion, has got to be in there too. We didn't want to fight Belal, but what if Belal wins and we win, and all of a sudden we get offered a fight with him? It's going to be up to the fighters to decide. If not Usman, Mendez wants to see the highly anticipated super fight between Makhachev and UFC lightweight champion Ilia Topuria materialize. If you're asking me what the fans are going to want to see, I'm going to have to go with Topuria. If we manage to get the win like we're expecting and wanting to, I would think that Dana White is all about creating the biggest buzz, and I think the biggest buzz is Topuria if he goes up in weight, if that's what happens. So right now, I can see so many different scenarios happening, but those two are the top of the list in my opinion. Chael Sonnen names UFC 322 star the best fighter in the UFC despite two-fight skid. Chael Sonnen is in New York City as a UFC analyst to provide coverage of the upcoming UFC 322 event. In the lead-up to UFC 322, he claimed that a fighter who is in desperate need of a victory is the best in the promotion. What's the problem with Leon? It's been the problem his entire life. He doesn't know how good he is. Leon has been the best fighter in the UFC for years. Now, he had the world title, and he could have kept that 8 times longer. There was nobody more surprised the night the head kick was heard around the world when he captured the world title than him. He didn't think he was going to beat Kamaru Usman that night. Leon Edwards is so good. He didn't think he was going to beat Belal, which is why he didn't beat Belal. He could have won that fight. I mean, Leon is so good. Khamzat Chimaev agrees to Alex Pereira clash with two big conditions attached. The Alex Pereira versus Khamzat Chimaev clash seems to be gaining steam after the two UFC stars exchanged messages on Instagram. The UFC middleweight champion has been seeking a fight against Pereira for some time. Meanwhile, Alex recently called out Jon Jones for a super fight at the White House. However, Khamzat isn't moving away from facing the UFC light heavyweight champion. Chimaev recently claimed that he could beat Pereira and his coach Glover Teixeira at the same time. Teixeira and Pereira released a video on Instagram responding to Chimaev's challenge. The coach claimed he was retired but was willing to face Boers. Glover also brought up a fight against Jon Jones, but Pereira had an interesting proposition for Chimaev. Alex revealed two conditions for the pair to clash. The first was that they would meet in a grappling contest, even if it was in the UFC. The second condition was that the money made in the fight would be donated to charity. Chimaev was quick to respond on Instagram and accepted the clash. He even went on to say that Pereira and Teixeira would be submitted on the same night. Let's go. I can submit you both same night.